Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, and I'm recording episode, 310, 312, something like that. Today I have with me Steve Anderson, co-founder and CEO at Catalyit. Steve, thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, Tony, a pleasure.
I'm very excited for today for several reasons. Oh, and Steve is also the author of the Bezos letters about Jeff Bezos' letters to the shareholders of Amazon. And just before we started recording, I was telling you that I was a little bit worried when you wrote the book that we would lose you from insurance. So it's very, very cool to see that you're still active within insurance and starting something new within insurance.
I know, how crazy is that, right?
Let's go the usual route. The first, I'll let you give the elevator pitch for what is Catalyit, and I'm kind of sure that I'm mispronouncing it.
No, actually, it is Catalyit. It came from Catalyst for Change and IT for Technology. And I don't know if you've ever tried to pick a company name that had a domain and had, oh my gosh, I won't bore you with that multiple month process, but that's what we ended up. But Catalyit is how we pronounce it.
Yeah. So basically, a catalyst to your IT is
correct.
Is the idea.
Yeah.
So what is Catalyit? How do you catalyst our IT?
So I think probably the best way to say it is that agents have been frustrated with technology for 40 plus years. And again, we won't go into the great history, but it's always been a frustration point. And what we do at Catalyit is help agents and brokers do four things: discover what's out there, evaluate what's best for them, select the final product that they want to implement, and then implement that so they get all of the benefits that they think they are going to get. So we are building a platform that my goal is to have the entire universe of vendors, what we call solution providers, that have a product, service, platform, process that agents should know about, that they can be discoverable on that platform. So again, discover, evaluate, select, and implement. Those are the four things that we focus on doing.
So that is bigger than I thought. I thought you were really playing in the evaluate piece. So trying to do all four, that is a huge, and then the way you put it, the entire universe, that's a good metaphor, because it is literally 1,500, 2,000 different providers in what I would call Insurtech, and many of them are focused on the agent and broker space.
Yep.
Right.
And actually a growing number of them, which is exciting. And, challenging for agents who may not like technology at all anyway. And many of them know they need it, but don't know what to do next. And that's where we're trying to provide a process for them to help.
So years ago, Nick Lamparelli, who used to run this podcast and who ran Insurance Nerds with me for a good while, suggested that Insurance Nerds should do something like that. He identified a problem, which was agencies have no idea which of the at that time hundreds of tools available they should actually go after, and I agree with him that somebody should do that. We're just not the right people to do it because we're not agency people, right?
Right.
Nick had a little experience in agencies early in his career, and the rest of us really didn't. We're carrier people. So I'm so glad that you're doing it, and you've got a special place in our industry. I've been in insurance for 12 years. You've been there the entire time, and you've been very visible in insurance the entire time. And I wasn't entirely sure what exactly you did, and then finally I ran into you in Vegas at the
ITC.
no, before ITC.
Oh, was it before?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
before ITC, the first time that I actually met you in person. And of course, for me, this is a significant event. For you, this is, Tuesday. Was at the Resource Pro conference in Vegas, where you spoke. And of course, you look just like your picture. So I recognized you and said hi. and I kind of thought that you were in the marketing side. And then you kind of corrected me that no, it's really always been the agency technology side.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
So normally I ask people how they came up with the idea for doing this. So in your case, I think your whole career brought you here clearly, but so I'd love to for the listeners.
So let me fill you in on a few details and kind of how it came about, because I think it's actually interesting. And one of the things that makes it somewhat unique, at least in the industry at this time. So actually 3 state Big I association executives all had a strategic goal of helping their agents with technology. Now, I can say, and they would agree, that in the past, the Big I associations never did a very good job of that. But with the continued increase of technology, the continued frustration their agents were having, they realized they needed to do something different. And so that Lisa Lounsbury in New York, Jeff Albright in Louisiana, and Matt Benicheski in Wisconsin. And Lisa called me and said, I've got a question for you. Here's what we're thinking. Here's what we are trying to put together. We don't know how to do it. You wouldn't be interested, would you? And, I've been doing this for 25 years. And I think I surprised her and myself by saying I might be. And so, if you do know me, the white hair comes, I guess, honestly, I'm, let's say, at the other side of my career now. And so in terms of thinking, okay, what's next, or, how do I do that? I became really pretty interested in helping them put together something that would have a meaningful impact on their members. And so fast forward, we met together as a group for probably 18 months, hammering out business plan and is it financially viable and how would we do it, and all those kinds of tough conversations. And then we ended up offering this opportunity to other Big I states. And so we ended up with 7 investors who actually invested money in Catalyit to get it going. That is New York, of course, New Jersey, North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, Colorado, and Wisconsin. So those are the 7 partner states. And then over the last year, really, we've added 12 other states that are offering Catalyit to their members. So tells me a couple things. One is it at least seems like a good idea. Other states are recognizing that their agents continue to be frustrated and have problems with technology, and we might have a solution that would help them and help the associations service their members effectively.
I love the random set of states at the beginning. Like those couldn't be more radically different states.
Yeah. Here's the way I see it, and actually was one of the main reasons I was even interested in talking. Every one of those states have younger, newer association executives that realize they can't continue to do the same old thing. Mm-hmm. And that was exciting to me and refreshing, not, and again, industry changes, leadership changes, those kinds of things. But these states all saw that they could step up and take a lead in helping their members and helping agents as a whole. And I think that's why other states are coming on, offering it to the service to their members.
Okay. But by the way, Is there a history of big I associations investing together in something before, or is this the first? I had never heard of it.
So actually there is, and I won't say how long that history is, but there is a group of about 15 big I states called IA, Independent Agent Action Partners. And their purpose is to not reinvent the wheel. If there are common problems that agents have and they're looking for solutions to help their members, then why don't we work together to create a common solution? And actually, Catalyt's the third idea, I guess, to come out of that group. So again, a different, that's part of what's exciting. They're not relying on what's always been done, but thinking about how can we do something different.
That is very cool. I'm glad that they're doing that. I mean, we have broker tech,
right,
which is, and it's only a couple years old, and I'm glad it's there. But yes, groups of agents investing in the things that they actually need.
Yes,
as opposed to another tech toy looking for an insurance problem to solve.
Right,
is a much smarter way to serve our industry.
Yep, absolutely.
So Catalyit is a subscription.
Correct.
Right,
monthly subscription.
Paid monthly subscription. Okay. So what's there already, and what's coming kind of in the rest of 2022 in the short term?
Okay. All right. So the messaging we're putting around this year is that Catalyit is a fractional CIO for those smaller agency organizations that will never be able to afford that position, but they need it, right? They need the strategy. They need the broad view out of what's possible. And they need the benefit of experience to vet vendors, right? Who's got something, who's only got a really nice PowerPoint, and help them figure that out. So that's kind of the overall idea. And we've put it together into what we call the Catalyit success journey. So I don't want to just throw a lot of information at agents. I actually want to help agents to create a roadmap for how technology can help them in their agency. And the way, again, I phrase it is, agents are successful. Technology can help them continue to thrive as consumers change, right? And we won't get all of that. I think we can agree that that's a reality today. But there are 4 milestones along the journey. Baseline, which is what we call building a strong foundation. What's minimally required in terms of technology for an agency?
So long-term survival, basically.
Well, yes. And, I'm hesitant to say that survival because, people have been saying that for 25 years and they're still around.
Books decline slowly.
Yes, agreed. And it could be an agency that's been around for 10 or 15 years, just never quite filled in some of those strong things to help build on. So next is better, building strong structures. What's that next step? And then best, certainly alluding to the national big I's best practices. What are those top agencies doing and what are they using? And then the 4th milestone is what I call beyond. What are agencies doing today that will become best practice in the future? And that's where I want our subscribers to move toward. Now, we start that process with an assessment. And we've created this assessment, gives the agency an idea of where they are in terms of those milestones and how they're using different technologies, gives us an idea of how to help them. Maybe they need to fill in a couple items in the baseline, but maybe they're way past that. And now they're looking at, okay, how do I continue to move along this success journey? So that's kind of the foundational piece. The second area is really for discovery and evaluation, is we have what we call guides and reviews. So we've identified about 20 different categories of technology. And in each of those categories, we have provided some information about the category, some things to consider if you're looking to add it, whatever it be, and it could be website and cybersecurity and chatbots and video and marketing and all kinds of different things. You know, what's there, but the key is who are the players? And so this is where we list the solution providers, and we get information from them to put on the site so we know it's accurate. And we create what we call a comparison grid. So solution providers across the top, features across the left side, green dot, they have it, blank, they don't, yellow dot, maybe, but not great. And again, it's that quick view. And then agencies, our subscribers and their staff can go in. In fact, we are encouraging them to, and leave reviews on the providers that they are using, or maybe have used in the past and have moved off of, for example. But again, back to what we said earlier, something Amazon pioneered at a time when nobody thought reviews were a good idea. But now who buys anything without looking at the reviews, right? So we want agents to be able to get that unbiased information from current users. And it's not just bashing, it's pros and cons. What did I like? What didn't work out so well? Here are some things to consider so that you don't make the mistakes I did, right? All of that information that can be a good review to help another agency understand what they want to do. So that's the guides and reviews.
Okay.
Third area is what we call Knowledge Hub. And really the main thing here is we provide an opportunity 3 times a month for agencies to get on live with us. First week of the month is what we call Hot Topic. It's more of a webinar format going deeper into a particular topic of interest. Second Tuesday of the month is what we call Open Q&A. It is basically we and my team get on, agents come in, they bring their questions, we chat, we talk, we answer questions, what's your biggest problem, what's going on in your agency, how can we help? And that really kind of, again, leads back to that fractional CIO idea, getting a strategic overview of what's going on. And then the third is Demo Lounge. So our solution providers are invited to actually give a 15 to 30-minute demo of their product. You can attend live and ask questions. If you can't attend live, we record it and put it in the vault so you can go back later. If you're looking at a particular solution, you can actually see a demo before you contact the vendor and get in their sales cycle. So again, the whole idea is to help agents save time. And then the fourth area is community. So Facebook group, not on Facebook, because I hate Facebook and I hate Facebook groups more. So, and it's hard to build community and all of those kinds of things. But again, another avenue where people can post questions. You get, again, my team or other agencies responding with what they've learned or information that they have. So those are the 4 components of what we put together on the Catalyit platform.
Okay.
I did that really fast for you. I just want you to know.
it was very, very good. Clearly you've got it down. Can insurtechs or vendors can they apply to be evaluated to hit my goal of having the entire universe available on the Catalyit platform? Couple things. One is there is no cost for a solution provider to be listed. And we are actively seeking out, we've kind of gone through that, what I would call that first layer, ones we know of. I keep running across new ones. And we are proactively reaching out to them saying, hey, we're here. We'd love to have you on. For those solution providers that do want more exposure, we do have a premium program, which is a paid.
but it's not required to have a listing or be visible on the platform. Because again, my view is what's best for agents is what we're going to do. And it's best for agents to have the options of anybody out there, not just the ones who decided to pay something.
Okay. And so I think thus far you've really covered the discover, evaluate, and select pieces.
Yeah.
How do you guys help with the implementation piece? Make sure that you actually get your money's worth out of this piece of technology.
Yeah, I would say there are a couple of different ways. One is the more do-it-yourself, which is again why we have that every month open Q&A. I bought this new thing. How should I make sure it gets implemented correctly?
And by the way, quick question: everything we've talked about is included in your membership thus far?
Correct.
Okay,
that is correct. So the second way is consulting, which is not included in your membership.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that could be, and we're actually building out, additional consulting, be it, one-on-one project based. I have I'm getting a new management system. I need help. And it could be kind of back to that fractional CIO. I want to talk to somebody about my specific needs once a quarter. So that would be a consulting piece and an ongoing project that we would work with that agency. And that literally could go all the way to an agency that wants every quarter and, a day in the office to be able to dig deeper right into agency operations and what they need in order to continue to improve. So we're building that out now. And we've actually already had a couple of projects that we've taken on.
Fantastic. That makes absolute sense. I'm so glad somebody's doing it. I for years, I've never worked in an agency, and I always try to give that disclaimer whenever I'm talking about agencies. But I've served them as a sales manager. I've served them as an underwriter. Nowadays, I provide them staffing. My girlfriend has worked at a very large broker for the last several years. So I get different views with the agency side. And for years, I've been seeing people like my friend Kelly Donahue Pyro and others convincing agencies on okay, you do have to make the tech investment, right? And it's hard to get them to that point, right? You maybe have to take a little less money out every year and invest that money back into the agency for long-term survival and thriving. But the problem is once they get to that spot, there's thousands of options.
Right.
How on earth does a non-tech person figure out what they really need and what the right match is for their agencies? And this is by far the best solution that I've seen for. In fact, I don't think I've seen another solution for.
Well, well, two things I'm thinking. Now my marketing comes out, which is I might need a testimonial from you on that one.
More than
but two, I actually don't know of anything else out there that's doing what we're doing and directing it to a typical Big I association member, which is actually 5 to 20 employees, right? The smaller agency who have the same needs, they just don't have the resources available. And that's why we've tried to price this very competitively and, creating multiple income sources for us so we can continue to deliver the help to these agencies.
I forgot to ask on that. Thank you for mentioning it. Is it priced by the head of the by the book size? Like, how is it priced?
Nope. It is $97 a month per agency, not per location or per person.
So even for
I know we struggled a lot. I think it's way too cheap.
I think it's way too cheap. I agree. I agree that is way too cheap. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Almost everything else is priced either by the user at the agency,
Yep, per
or
user, or
sometimes the size
some
of the
volume,
book.
right? As you say, revenue, or, number of employees, or something like that. And again, part of why we can do that, Tony, is the platform that we've built can scale really easily. So adding 10 or 15 employees in an agency actually benefits us, because it helps create more of a community, helps create more reviews, which helps more agents, which draws more agents to the platform. I will tell you this. I did learn a few things writing a book about Amazon.
Okay. There's a definite network effect there,
Yes,
where
no question.
the more agencies that are involved, the more value that everybody's getting in the reviews, in the community sections.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Fantastic. Steve, when this goes live, I'll tag you on LinkedIn. And for agents that are hoping to catch you in person now that the world's reopening, do you know what conferences you're going to be at this year, or do you have that list?
Yeah, actually, I would suspect, like you, I'm starting to pick up my travel. I will be in several states conventions, mostly our partner and patron states right now, this first part. And I don't have that list in front of me, but there are probably, I bet 10 or 12 that I'll be at. I'll certainly be at the Applied. I was at the Vertafore NetView conference. I will be at the Applied User Conference in October, and ITC in Las Vegas in September. So those are the kind of industry ones that I'll be at.
So for the listeners, if you want to catch Steve live, so first take a look at your Big I, whatever they call the big annual at each state convention, or I've spoken at a couple of them, but I don't remember what they call them.
And actually, you're making me think, I should put my schedule on our website, just so that may be another way to build a little community stuff there too. So thanks for the idea.
It makes sense. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. Looking forward to see Catalyit grow. This is so exciting when it comes to this is so needed. Right. And for years, I've known that this is needed, and I wasn't the person to build it. So I'm glad that you're building it. And I had no idea what the setup would be. Right. Yeah. I knew the question that needed answered. I didn't know what the setup would be to do that correctly. And it seems that you're doing it correctly. So much so that I want to figure out, how do I make this episode a pinned episode, right?
Okay.
Because basically, if I do interviews with so many insurtechs that if you're new to my podcast or to the YouTube channel and you're an agent, go listen to all the other ones, but this is the most important tool, because it'll help you figure out from all the other tools which
all
ones
the others
actually make sense for your agency.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for your time. It's been really fantastic.
Oh, my pleasure, Tony. Always fun to talk with you.